Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com. I am Mikey Dunn, joined by Pete Foster as we get set to bring you Chesmont cross-divisional play. It's the Rustin Golden Knights of the Chesmont American Division hosting the Avon Grove Red Devils of the Chesmont National Division. Pete, tell us a little bit about the Avon Grove Red Devils.
Avon Grove Devils, coming in with a 1-3 record, are led by head coach Harry O'Neill. This is his 35th overall season and his 6th as the head coach. He is the longest tenured coach in program history.
And we'll continue with Pete's analysis of Avon Grove after the Star Spangled Banner. And we are back at Rustn High School as Pete Foster is telling us about those Avon Grove Red Devils.
Yes, the Avon Grove Devils come in with a 1-3 record, and they're led by head coach Harry O'Neill. This is his 35th overall season and his 6th as the head coach. He is the longest tenured coach in program history. The Avon Grove Devils are led by their senior quarterback, J.T. McDonald. Last year in 2018, he was the 4th leader in Chesmont Division with 987 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, only behind Ricky Ortega, Will Howard, and Sam Forte in career passing stats. Avon Grove really comes in with one of the best offensive lines in Chesmont play. They're led by their seniors Reese Whitehouse, Briggs Godfrey, and tight end Max Paschal that open big holes for their senior runners Wyatt Kirby and junior Colby Riddle. Some of their players to watch tonight is Wyatt Kirby, a dual threat as a linebacker and ball carrier, who also leads a trio of all Chesmont players on defense, one being our team captain Matt Walsh and another being a defensive back Jackson Shett. And also, we don't really talk about kickers a lot, but we like to talk about Bobby Smith, who was ranked one of the top 25 kicking recruits in the nation. He could be needed for tight late-game situations in tonight's game.
All right, Pete, and we're going to see that Avon Grove offense as Rustin is kicked off. We are underway. As Avon Grove gets a solid return, they're going to start off at their own 23-yard line. And Pete, they're taking on the Rustin Golden Knights. They're coached by Mike Sinclair. He's been the coach of the program since they started in 2006. It was their division crown last year for those Golden Knights. They ended Unionville's reign. Their defensive line coach, Mike Mooring, he played in the NFL with the San Diego Chargers. They're known for having a strong defense. As we're going to go over the keys of the game for both teams in just a little bit, but one of them is Rustin playing that patented Rustin D. Handoff goes to Sean Glatz. Getting back to Rustin real quick, they are coming in at 3-1 overall. 3-1 in the conference, which is rare to have 4 conference games in your first 4, especially in high school. They are led by star running back Nick Madonna, who, Pete, when you saw him last time in the Chesmont game in their Week 2 matchup win over Great Valley, he had 6 touchdowns. They are led also by their quarterback, John Crispino. I expect to see also Alex Prasner get some carries tonight. We'll talk more about their offense as we progress, but it's usually about the defense for Rustin. As we see right there, Pete, no room to run for Avon Grove.
Yeah, it seems like the front seven for Rustin is really coming out strong. They're clogging up these holes, and Avon Grove really isn't getting off to a good start with their running game.
as they have a 3rd and long coming up. It's a 3rd and 9. Pete, Rustin's defense is giving up just 128 rushing yards a game, just 221 yards total a game, and only giving up just under 12 points a game. And this is an Avon Grove offense that they've been playing better of late, but they're scoring just 14.5 points a game. Pass is complete. That is to Brandon Borky. And their quarterback is JT McDonald. But it's not going to be enough for the first down, so we're going to have to see the Red Devils punt. Owen Mahoney is the punter. Pete, you were talking about their kicker. In their matchup that they fell to Owen J. Roberts, where they went for 2 to try to win the game and fell just short, they still had a chance at that end of the game. They went for a 53-yard field goal, and they actually, a 51-yard field goal, excuse me, actually hit the crossbar. Usually kickers, if they're making a 40-yarder, it's impressive. And we actually have our first time out of the game, Pete, which is surprising to see so early in the game. But it does give us a little bit more time to talk about these two teams and talk about our keys to the game. Let's talk about the Avon Grove keys of the game, Pete.
Some of the Avon Grove keys to the game are winning the up-front battle on the offensive line. Like mentioned before, they have one of the best offensive lines in the Chesmont League. Another key to the game is to use their experience to advantage. They have a trio of all Chesmont players on defense, and they return 9 defensive starters. There are a lot of teams who come out with just juniors and sophomores, and they don't really have that experience. So having a well-meshed team to come out on defense should give this running attack on Rustin a handful. And the last will be foil Rustin's running game early. We mentioned Nick Madonna, who had 6 touchdowns in our broadcast in week 2. So we really want to see Avon Grove's defense shutting them down early.
That's a solid punt, but not the best of hang times, and that's bobbled. Trying to fall on the ball is Rustin. We're going to see who's got the ball there. And it is going to be Rustin football, so almost a costly early mistake for the Golden Knights. And we're going to talk about the Rustin keys of the game. And Pete, we're going to say his name a lot tonight. The first key to the game for Rustin, give Madonna the ball early and often. You're going to feed him the ball as much as you can. The second key to the game is going to be limit turnovers. In their loss to Kennett, they had a lot of turnover issues, as we are looking for Rustin's first play of the game here. Handoff taken to the outside on a sweep. That is Drew Gallen. Of course, we talk about Madonna. Gallen gets the ball. He also will see a lot of carries tonight as well.
Rustin comes out in their wing T system on offense, and they really want to get their speedy runners in the open space. They like to run a lot of sweeps and running off tackle to get one Madonna in space, Prasner, Gallen. Just all of their, they come out with at least 4 runners each game, and they're averaging over 200 yards. That's tough to handle for an offensive defense.
Second and 5 for Rustin. And that timeout, by the way, Pete, was called by the Golden Knights defensively. And it's going to be a first down run for Gallen. We see a lot of the better teams in Chesmont. They have multiple guys who can carry the ball, and nothing exemplifies that better than in Rustin's Week 1 win over Sun Valley, a 53-7 win. 5 Golden Knights had rushing touchdowns, Pete.
And that's incredible. That's really incredible. If you think about it and you go back and look at tape, you have opposing defenses thinking, oh, we can stop Madonna, but then we have to stop another one. And then you can even have to worry about the running back, the quarterback using his feet as well.
That handoff's going to go to Madonna. His first carry of the night. He's going to pick up just 2. Avon Grove's defense gives up 190 rushing yards a game, Pete. So against a team like Ruston that likes to run it, we might not see many passes tonight, and that wouldn't be a first for Ruston. They had, in their matchup against Great Valley, a win which you saw just 1 pass attempt in that game, which was incomplete. They get just 29 passing yards a game, Pete.
Yes, and that's totally opposite from Avon Grove, where they come in with JT McDonald, who they rely on him with his tremendous arm throughout the game.
2nd and 8 ball on the 49. That's going to be Madonna actually taking the direct snap. He's going to get a first down for Rustin.
And that's good to try to get him early with a direct snap, giving the defense a different look than the normal jet sweeps. Then Avon probably has game plan on defense coming into this game tonight.
Pete, it's interesting looking at the American division. It's usually Rustin, it's usually Unionville every year getting the division crown. Both those teams known for defense. Both those teams love to run the ball. But I'll tell you what, another team running the ball this year would be Westchester East, who, along with Kennett, are also competing to win the American Division crown this year. So it's really interesting to see. This is the most competitive I think the division's been. I do believe that's going to be a false start, Pete. I thought I saw an offensive lineman for Rustin move. I think it was number 75. Back him up 5 yards.
And that will get any coach's skin boiling. You never want to come out early with laundry on the field, especially when you're moving the ball.
Yeah, one thing that we could put on the keys to the game every week for a team, but we don't need to because it's just so well known, is you got to limit your penalties.
Yes.
First and 15, ball on the 46, 7:10 to go here in the first quarter. It's the Chesmont game of the week on ChesmontFootball.com. Screen pass to Madonna. Well defended by the Red Devils.
And it was tackled by number 6, Benjamin Heath. He really sniffed that play out. A lot of times, screen plays, they go for a big chunk of yardage, and I know Rustin wanted to get those yardage back plus a first down, but they were stopped behind a line of scrimmage, which brings up another 2nd and long.
Yep, 2nd and 12 for Rustin. A lot of times when you see a screen pass, you're going to see the offensive line maybe let a defender get near the quarterback to kind of open it up. But what Avon did there, they had other guys keep contained so they could defend that. It's another direct snap, and Madonna runs into his own man. The ball is dropped. He recovers it back. But Drew Gallen ran into Madonna, and they're going the wrong way, Pete.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in the game that turnovers or the risk of turnovers are really one of their problems in the season. They've come in with a 3-1 record, but when they play tougher matchups, as we can see tonight against Avon, these turnovers that they may commit, they'll put them in the wrong direction.
And now they're on their own side of the field, just on their side of the 50. Pete, they had a 1st and 10 from the 41. Now they're on their own side of the 50, just opposite midfield. Rolling out is Crispino, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. What a tackle by the Red Devils. That is Joshua Reuter. Nice job by him there, and the Golden Knights are going to have to punt.
And Crispino, he's really going to have to play his A game. Like we've mentioned before, Rustin, they're in their wing T system offense. They run. They like to control the clock and run the ball. But tonight we may have to see Crispino using his arm, and he hasn't used it that much this season. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
Not great distance, but it's not going to be returned as it is down at the 30-yard line. And we'll be back with more first quarter action after this word from Washington Hose Company number 1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
Sean Glatz with the carry there, nowhere to run. It's going to be a defensive battle, it's looking like tonight, Pete. Both teams like to run the ball, but both defenses have played well in their last 2 games. Although Ruston gave up 23 points in their win over Oxford and Avon gave up 21 points, it was more a situation of they were up by so much that you didn't have to worry much about giving up yards. You were letting them get yards, just not points. Another run for the Red Devils.
Good breaking tackles.
Kobe Riddle, excuse me.
And he broke a couple tackles there. He got past the line of scrimmage. He picked up about 4 yards to bring up a 3rd and manageable, about 3rd and 5 here.
And 3rd and 5, ball on their own 36. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And we spoke about a strong defensive game. For the last couple broadcasts that we've had, we've seen a lot of touchdowns going on. This might be something different for the broadcast viewers to be happy with tonight, Mikey.
Hey, and if it's as competitive or exciting as that flag on the play, it did look like Rustin jumped. So is that going to be enough? They needed 5 yards for the first down, but sometimes they call it 5, but it's really a 5.5. So we're going to have to see the spot. And it is offsides. And Pete, last week we had not the highest scoring of games in the first half, but it was our most exciting game of the season when Kennett defeated Unionville. So we've already seen this year you can have a low-scoring game be exciting. You can see it well played. Sometimes the defense just is better than the offense.
Right.
And it is going to be an Avon Grove first down. Pete, in Avon Grove's loss at Bonner and Pendergrass, they actually had negative 46 yards rushing in that game, 24 yards of offense. Every running back in that game had negative yards rushing, so they're already doing better than their Week 2 matchup. And again, in their Week 3 loss to Owen J. Roberts, they were in that game. It's just Coach O'Neill went for the win, something I like, and they were able to get a win last week. Carry goes up the middle. Rustin defense holding strong again. That carry by Wyatt Kirby.
Wyatt Kirby with the carry.
Well, luckily, it's not the NFL, so we don't have any players with egos on either side of the ball that want to get traded if the coach wants to go for 2, like Jalen Ramsey for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, it's something that's happening a lot more, and a lot of times you see it when it's a road team trying to get the win. Now, when they Avon Grove played O.J. Roberts, that was at home, but sometimes you just want to go for the win. You're showing confidence in your offense, which is why I like it. Drops back. Pass is complete.
And that was a really beautiful pass and catch there. JT McDonald, he drops back and a good progression. He looks at his receivers, looks at his targets, and lets that ball rip. I'll look to see more of that tonight.
Hess with a nice pickup there. Good route. They pick up 8. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. Can Avon Grove keep the drive going? Handoff goes up the middle. It's going to be enough for a first down. Good, tough running. Pete, you said they have one of the best offensive lines in Chesmont. So if they need short yardage, they feel very confident that they're going to be able to pick that up.
Yes, very much so. And I think that the records don't really show how well this game may play out. Even though Avon Grove is 1-3 and Ruston is 3-1, I think this will be one of the better games on this Friday night.
That was Glatz picking up the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10. Avon Grove's first time on the Ruston side of the field tonight. Looking for the first points of the game. Flag on the play. Do believe it's going to be a legal procedure on this one, but. And it is. Back Avon Grove up 5 yards. You could see one Avon Grove player pointing, oh, it's against Rustin, as his teammates are going backwards, knowing full well it was on them.
Yes. And Coach Mick O'Neill for the Avon Grove Devils, he says that his players are respectable on and off the field, and they return a wealth of varsity players that are very coachable. So when we see these flags come out early in the game, it's kind of surprising. So we'll see if they keep playing out for the rest of the night.
McDonald drops back. Pass is intercepted by the lineman. What hands by Gabe Walsh. You don't see that very often, but that was going to be another screen, just a low thrown ball, and the lineman coming up big, and he is fired up, and so is this Rustin crowd, Pete.
Yeah, that was a very good interception by the lineman. You don't really see linemen getting to touch the ball, so when they do, you see the excitement that he's shown after he got the interception. But for JT McDonald, quarterbacks have to learn how to throw the ball away.
Let's take a look at the replay of that interception. Handoff goes to Madonna. Not much room to run. Let's try and take a look at the replay again, Pete.
2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
She drops back. They did it again where they let the play develop. The pass was going to be attempted to go to Wyatt Kirby, but he just threw it way too low.
Yeah, very low thrown ball, and it was like he looked straight at the defender and still just threw the ball. Like I said, he had the option of throwing it out or even taking a sack. Anything would have been better than committing a turnover right there in that field position.
I want to give a shout out to the Avon Grove band for playing a little Kanye West All the Lights. I like it. Shouted out Unionville's band last week. Man in motion is Madonna. He takes the handoff on the sweep. Makes one man miss, cuts it back. He's coming back to the other side of the field, and he's tackled from behind. What a play by Sean Glatz. A running back tackling a running back. Phenomenal job, because if he got his legs going, he had plenty of room on the near side of the field, Pete.
Yeah, if Sean wasn't there, he would have probably scored a touchdown or had a bigger gain, a big chunk. We've seen in week 2 when Madonna had a couple touchdowns, at least 2 where he started on the right side of the field, cut over, and scored on the left side.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter here. Nothing is the score at Ruston High School. It is the Golden Knights 0, the Red Devils 0. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com. And we want to take this opportunity to tell you about our friends at SWI. That's right, SWI, or Service Wholesale Incorporated, is your place to go for building materials and products. They supply quality materials for the building, construction, remodeling, and lumber industries. Their motto is service with integrity. Visit them at 4810 Horseshoe Pike in Downingtown, or give them a call at 610-518-5187. That's SWI. And folks, you're watching the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com. We want to remind you that you too can advertise on 3CTVLive.com and ChesmontFootball.com by calling 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities. That's 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities. I mean, Pete, that was a tackle that if Avon Grove wins this game, when they watch the film, they're going to say, you know what, that's what got us this game. That was a potential touchdown-saving tackle.
And a lot of tackles like that can stop momentum that Rustin may have come out and look to gain, especially at the end of the first quarter.
That's Madonna on the carry. He's going to get a Golden Knight first down.
We see Rustin trying to get Madonna into open space, giving him his pitches and starting him as the direct snaps and trying to get him into open space. They're really using that coming into 5 weeks into the season, Madonna as their workhorse. We haven't seen a lot of their other running backs tonight, but it seems like Rustin tries to get Madonna to go first, and once they can get good points on the board and a good lead, then their other running backs come in to try to flush the other teams down the drain.
Yeah, Gallen had 2 carries, but the third time he looked like he might get the ball. That's when they had some trouble with Madonna on the exchange. So they're going with the sure-handed Madonna right now. But now it actually is going to be Gallen on the carry. Going to be a pickup of about 6 on the play. They call it 5. I'll say 5.5.
Well, they're in the red zone, the first team in the red zone tonight. Let's see if they can get a touchdown on the board, or at least 3.
They got to make sure they keep their composure, no penalties. Hold on to the ball. They don't want to have any more potential fumbles. Man in motion. And that's going to be well defended by Avon Grove. The ball comes out, but it's going to be blown dead.
Yeah, and you mentioned turnovers. That is the worst when you commit turnovers in the red zone. You worked so hard to get your own turnover of your own, so close to getting the first points on the board, and then you're giving the ball right back to the Devils.
Yeah, so Madonna is going to hold on to the ball tight.
And Mike St. Clair, he's been a coach since 2006. He's really looking to come in and win the Chesmont, win Westchester, and also get a playoff spot.
Man in motion. Hand up goes to Gallen up the middle. Gonna have to see the spot. He needed to get to the 10, and they spot him at the 10, and they're moving the chains.
That was a really good cut at the line of scrimmage. He saw the hole, he followed his block, and he picked up the yardage that he need. It's always good to see running backs picking up the yardage that they need and not trying to do too much. That's when the turnovers will come into play, or a loss of yardage, when you're not just following the blocking and being a team player.
Spino under center. He hands it off to Madonna. He's going to take it inside the 5. Nice job following his blockers there. I would not be surprised if we saw Madonna get another carry, and if he doesn't get in, one more carry.
Yes.
Feed your workhorse.
Yes. Or Pratzner. He's a big body running back that they like to feed directly up the middle. He can get behind the guards, maybe even go between a tackle. But we'll probably see Madonna get into the end zone.
Or at least try. If the Red Devil defense has anything to say about it, they're hoping to force a field goal attempt or get a turnover. Madonna with the carry. Lowers his head, and he jumps over the pile, and he's going to be spotted down at the 1. He holds his hands up and, I thought I got in. Tough running, though.
That was a tough run. He ran over the would-be tackle. He smelled the end zone right there, and I'm sure that it was just so much distraught that he didn't get in, but it's 3rd and goal. Let's see if they can punch it in here.
Crispino ran over the sideline to get the play call back in the huddle. Have to think it's going to be either a quarterback sneak, which he does have some rushing touchdowns this year, or it's going to go to Madonna, but there's nobody directly behind him. I expect a sneak. Oh, looks like a false start by Rustin, Pete. You can't have that happen. And it is. Pete, they were going to do what I always say I'd like to see when you have short yardage to go, do a quarterback sneak. But it looked like a lineman on the left side of the line, a little eager to go there. And honestly, the only people that needed to worry about what was going on that play were the center and the quarterback, because he was going right over him.
Yes.
3rd and 6. 3rd and goal from the 6. 8:06 to go here in the first half. 0-0 is your score. Empty backfield again. Now Madonna in motion. He gets the handoff. He's taking it outside. And he beats the Red Devils to the corner. It's going to be a touchdown. Nick Madonna with a 6-yard touchdown run, and your first score of the game.
That was a great run to the outside, a nice jet sweep. But I have to give credit for Matt Walsh Jr. there. He came with so much speed, and he tried to get Madonna on the side, but he just couldn't. He tried to get a shoestring tackle, but it wasn't going from there, and it put 6 points on the board for Ruston.
McDevitt in for the extra point. Trouble on the snap, and he just tries to throw it. It's going to be incomplete. Ruston not being sound in the kicking game, but let's see them being sound in the running game. Another look at that touchdown run.
And the score remains Rustin 6, Avid Gore nothing.
Showing great speed, great blocking as well, as he dives for the end zone and he gets in, giving Ruston the lead midway through the second quarter. Will that extra point come back to hurt them, though, Pete?
It may. We've talked about the great kicker on Avon, Bobby Smith, and we've talked about that he can kick from almost 50 yards. And being a high school player, that can really come to use an advantage in a late game situation, especially if a tight game is in the play. And Mikey, I just love these fall nights in the football season, weather changing. It's great.
Oh, perfect football weather. I've been waiting for this all summer. I like the summer, but fall is ideal, and it's going to be an ideal run if you're an Avon Grove fan, as the Red Devils return man running up the sideline, still going, finally taken down. Was that a horse collar? I believe it was. That was Sean Glatz on the return, showing great speed, and they're going to get even better field position because it's going to be a personal foul on Ruston.
Yeah, it's going to put them in the red zone position, trying to get those points right back on the board that they just gave up to Ruston. And it'll be a personal foul on Ruston with, like you mentioned, a horse collar.
76-yard return by number 40, Sean.
And it is. So they're going to start the possession off inside the 10. Want to give a shout out to Wegmans, a proud supporter of Chesmont football and ChesmontFootball.com. That's Wegmans Food Markets, proud supporter of Chesmont football.
So with the run back and the penalty, Avon Grove has first and goal inside the 5.
I formation. Handoff's going to go and take it in for the score is Kobe Riddle. What an answer by the Red Devils.
Yes, he saw open field. He cut off of the tackle. He ran those 5 yards. He got into the touchdown. And now we have a tie score in the second quarter.
Second quarter, the score is now tied at 6.
Bobby Smith in for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. Avon Grove leads 7-6. Let's take a look at the replay.
And the Red Devils take the lead, 7-6.
And those blocks, that was a great block by number 8 on the side. Rowan Hershey, the wide receiver. And it's always great when you see your wide receivers not being those types that only want to catch the ball and get their yardage and get their touchdowns, but also block for their running backs. And we see that the teamwork is being valued by Avon Grove, which makes the score 7-6.
Benchmark Federal Credit Union, Autos Imported Cars, Berkshire Hathaway.
Want to give a shout out to our friend Evan and the rest of the gang at Pizza Peddler for providing tonight's meal for the ChesmontFootball.com crew. Stop in and see them sometime. They're located at US 202 and PA 926 and in the same complex as the Amish Market in Westtown. Folks, they also deliver. Give them a call at 610-399-3300.
Madonna and down deep.
Can Rustin get a big return? It's Drew Gallen on the return for the Golden Knights. They're going to take over at their own 28. We'll be back after this word from Chester County Transmissions.
Drew Gallen with the return.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
And no room to run for Madonna there. Tell you what, that Avon Grove sideline and fan base is fired up. They came to this game as underdogs. They're the 1-3 team going up against the 3-1 team, but they find themselves with a 7-6 lead.
And the thing is, they may look like underdogs, but that's in non-league play. When it comes to league play, they can be undefeated and work themselves into the playoffs. So if they win this game here, they'll be 2-0 in the Chesmont division.
Toss goes to Madonna. And he's got a lot of room to run. He's going up the sideline. He's going to be tackled in Avon Grove territory. Finally brought down at the 48-yard line.
And that was a good tackle by number 31, Grayson Sprinkle. Again, if he wasn't there to stop that play, Madonna saw all daylight, and that was going to be over 50 yards for a touchdown.
Folks, just a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at ChesmontFB. Like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live, and follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. First and 10, ball on the 48, 6:22 to go here in the first half. Madonna with the carry. He's going to take it up to the 45-yard line.
And that's what Coach Mike St. Clair wants to do. He wants to keep pressing the button, and then you'll have daylight, open field for your runners to do. And I think that's what his game plan is week in and week out. You keep on just chunking away, get 3-4 yards, 3-4 yards, 3-4 yards. And next thing you know, you have a touchdown for 50 yards, and it's another touchdown on the board.
Did just hear a member of the Ruston faithful not happy with the play call, but as a team that's 3-1, they clearly know what they're doing. That's going to be a big run and a touchdown run for Drew Gallen, 45-yard touchdown run.
Like I just mentioned, keep pushing away, 3-4 yards, and bam, you have something that breaks wide open, just like we had on that play there.
Your score now, Rustin 12, Avid Grove 7.
They're a team that runs the ball, and if you run it well, just keep on doing it. As you said, Pete, fantastic run by Gallen.
Wow.
And more trouble on a extra point. They try and throw it this time, but his conversion is no good. So 12-7 is your score. Have to think that might come back to bite them.
Yeah, I thought that was another bot snapped on that field goal attempt there, and that would be the second one in a row. These field goals that they're not making or bot snaps, it's really hurting them.
Let's take a look at that run by Drew Gallen, Pete.
He gets the pitch off of the tackle, gets good blocks, and uses that speed of 45 yards down the field. Really untouched on that play.
So we were saying it was a defensive battle, but we saw a big kickoff return and then a big run. Very short period of time. Again, 12-7 is your score. Ruston leads Avon Grove. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com.
Yeah, I think both coaches were trying to fish out what they can use, and now they're using their weapons and their key plays, and they're scoring and getting downfield.
This time it is Riddell on the return.
24 yards, brings it out to the 26.
And they're getting good returns. That one wasn't as big as the last return that put them into the red zone, but still, they're running well on these returns, and that's just giving their offense a little momentum to say, hey, look, Ruston's defense may be sound. They may be led by Matt Montgomery on a good defense, but we can also run the ball just like Ruston's weapons can from their backfield.
Do they try and get JT McDonald to throw it a little bit more on this drive, maybe open up some more running lanes for the backs? Not on this play. It's going to be a good run. Still going is Kobe Riddle. I think I'm going to say Riddell and Riddell. I'm going to go back and forth. Apologies to him and his family if I keep switching it up.
Looks like we have another flag on the play.
You are correct, Peter, as they're discussing it. Avon Grove players are kind of back a little bit. I do believe it is going to be, oh, it's on Rustin actually, Pete.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a late hit, a personal foul.
Well, they got help on the kickoff return they had that led to their score with the personal foul. Now another personal foul by Rustin. Coach Sinclair cannot like that.
Yeah, Rustin's coaching staff really has to lay into their players in at halftime. The turnovers that they've almost committing, but the penalties, they're really shooting themselves in the foot.
1st and 10, ball on the 45. Sean Glatz with the carry. Not able to pick up anything there as it's spotted again at the 45. 2nd and 10, Avon Grove.
As you mentioned to start out the drive, I wonder when we'll see more of JT McDonald passing the ball. He has a tremendous arm. He has Rowan Hershey and also James Jones as his wide receivers who are very versatile, especially catching the ball and in the open field. Let's see when they try to get them the ball and work them into the game plan.
I mean, they throw for less than 100 yards a game, but when they do need to throw, as you said, he has a good arm. But I guess when you have an offensive line like they do, they want to just keep running it as much as they can.
But as we both know as football fans, you have to have a balance. You know, you run the ball, but you have to keep the defense on the toes, sending a deep bomb down the field, maybe opening with a wide receiver screen, something like that. Don't let his confidence go just because he threw an interception.
Yeah, they might want to hold off on doing a couple of screens, though, for a little bit, or at least do a bubble screen. Oh, drops back. It looks like his receiver slipped, but he also, I think the ball was thrown a little bit behind him. He was trying to go back for it. The Ruston defense is going to force a punt.
Looked like JT tried to maybe throw a back shoulder throw there. He had the good idea if him and the wide receiver were on the same page, but it just didn't work out, and now they're forced to punt the ball.
Owen Mahoney into punt, and it's Isaac Fisher back to return the punt. Punt is going to go inside the 15. It's going to bounce out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That's where Rustin's going to take over, trying to add to their lead. We're going to be back after this word from Miller's Insurance.
Chester County's most trusted insurance agency. Whether it's for your automobile or your home, a life insurance policy, or coverage for your business. Since 1975, Miller's Insurance Agency has been protecting homes, property, people, and businesses throughout Chester County. Miller's guides you every step of the way, providing the best options, getting you the right policy that works best for you. Contact us today for a no-cost consultation. Miller's Insurance Agency. We're here today for your tomorrows. Visit online at miainc.com.
At Rustn High School, as the Golden Knights look like they've caught a timeout before even running a play. Clearly, Coach Sinclair did not see something he liked there.
Yeah, you always want to come out with everybody on the same page, and I think that the entire Ruston offense didn't really know what play that he wanted to run there.
As we're trying to get some other scores for you, our usual source of scores has not been updated this evening, as it's saying that every Chesmont game is currently in the first quarter with no score still. So we will work on finding you some other Chesmont scores.
Given a rundown of the scores that happened in this game, all 3 touchdowns have occurred in the second quarter, with Ruston running the ball in twice and Avon running the ball in once. We've had one big play for 45 yards from Ruston, but all the other 2 touchdowns have come inside the red zone.
Do have a couple score updates for you. It is Downingtown West leading Oxford 14-7. It is Westchester East up 21-0 on Westchester Henderson.
Wow.
Coatesville leading their matchup 7-0. Another solid run for Ruston, and still going is Anthony Meadows.
Anthony Meadows was a name that we mentioned a bunch in the Week 2 broadcast. Let's see if they'll try to incorporate him more into the running game. He's one of those power backs that it takes more than just one tackle to bring him down.
Kennett leading their matchup 21-0. They're having a fantastic season, still undefeated. And they're going to be competing with Ruston for the American division. Again, they already defeated them this year. Madonna on the carry. I mean, he's just running hard now, Pete.
Yes. And as you mentioned, Kennett beating Ruston earlier this season. That was their first ever school victory over Ruston. They shocked the entire Chesmont League.
And again, they beat Unionville last week, a team they had never defeated. So Ruston, even though the divisional loss in a cross-divisional game, I don't believe factors in as much for the American division crown. I have to look at it a little bit more, but they want to win every game they can because overall record is also important. We're also keeping an eye on the Coatesville game, Pete, for Dupree Bryant. He is one catch away from tying the record for with 43 touchdown catches. And the Ruston faithful not happy with the little extracurriculars there after the play.
Yeah, the fans in the stands wanted a flag there, but let the boys play football. Just a little extra hit. I think they'll be all right.
the Coatesville lead over Unionville, Pete, was a Dupree Bryant 70-yard punt return touchdown. Really looking forward to when we I get to see him again this season. That'll be coming up in a few weeks against Shanahan. Madonna, he's got another big run, and he's still going. One man to beat as he cuts back. Oh, that cutback slowed him down a little, but a massive run by Madonna.
And we don't always shout the lineman out too much, but we want to give a shout out to number 58, Nick Crognell. He let out good blocks as a tackle running in front of Madonna to get him a big gain on the play.
I believe that was Alex Wank with the tackle, the touchdown-saving tackle.
We're having a lot of touchdown-saving tackles tonight by the Avon Grove defense.
First and 10, ball on the 15. Madonna's going to be stopped on that run. Coming into the game tonight, Pete, Madonna, 69 carries, 644 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
That's something some running backs put up in just an entire season.
For a comparison, coming into tonight's game, Glatz and Riddle combined have less than 500 yards rushing.
Wow.
But it's a 12-7 game. Stats don't matter except for the stats that are happening in the game you're playing. And Avid Grove trying to keep the stat of Rustin's points to be at 12 for the remainder of this game. But Crispino finds an open man. Pass is complete. It was thrown a little bit high. It was to Andrew Meadows, but got to think a better pass. He's going to go in for the score.
Yeah, better pass. If it would have hit him right in the numbers, he would have walked into the end zone being a wide open receiver on that play. But we've talked about Avon Grove, and they have been in a situation before where it has been maybe a tie game or they've been down going into the half. And maybe they've lost other games, but they can carry momentum into the second half, which can help them win the game.
Donna with the carry. He's finally brought down. I have to think that Rustin is going to let the clock run down and then call a timeout with enough time for them to attempt a field goal. Oh, no, they call a timeout now with 8 seconds. They let it run down, Pete. They could have caught it with about 12, 13 seconds left.
But this is where we see where the missed field goals and extra points really hurt Rustin. If they don't score here or get a field goal, it'll be a 12-7 game. Avon Grove can come in the second half, score a touchdown, and it'll be 13 or 14 to 12.
Yeah, now if they can get the extra point here, it would still just be a one-possession game, but 15-7 would be a lot better than just 12-7, because as you said, if Avon Grove scores a touchdown, they don't even need an extra point to be able to take the lead. So they are going to attempt the field goal. Mike McDevitt, again, it's not been McDevitt missing kicks. It's just been issues with the snap and the hold. So he's attempting his first kick of the night, even though they have 2 touchdowns and 2 extra point possibilities. Kick is up, and it is good. McDevitt is true, adding to the Rustin lead. It's the Rustin Golden Knights 15, the Avon Grove Red Devils 7 with 5 seconds to go in the first half. Can Avon Grove get another big return? Now, this time it'd have to go for a score. They're not going to have enough time to have a return in a play.
With about 5 seconds on the clock, if I was Avon Grove, maybe I would go in even for a bit of a trick play on the return. Who knows? If there's no turnover and it could be a big chunk, they may get into the end zone. But if not, at least they went for something and tried to give themselves a little bit momentum going into the halftime.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a squib kick here to not even give any of the return man for the Red Devils a chance. As McDevitt gets set for the kickoff. And it is a short squib kick. And that's going to do it here for the first half. It's the Ruston Golden Knights 15, the Avon Grove Red Devils 7. We'll be back with second half action. Stay tuned. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com.
Ruston Stadium. 9-8-5-5-1-6. Ladies and gentlemen, for halftime entertainment, please welcome the Rustin Golden Knights.
Welcome back, football fans. We are back live at Ruston High School as the Ruston Golden Knights lead the Avon Grove Red Devils by a score of 15-7. Pete, tell us about the first half scores. How do we get to this point in the game?
Well, we have 3 total touchdowns in the first half. We have 2 by Ruston, 1 by Avon Grove, all of those touchdowns being runs. The first run was a 3rd and goal from the 5 by Ruston, making the score 6-0 because of a botched field goal. Then Avon Grove, from a very nice kickoff return and a personal foul, got a 1st and goal, and they ran it in from the 5, and they made their field goal. And the last touchdown of the half was Ruston running it in but missing their field goal, a 45-yard run. Oh, and at the end of the half, we also had a field goal by Ruston, their first of the game, to make the score 15-7.
Yeah, we can't even say that Ruston's kicker had issues, because on the extra points, he never got a chance to kick it.
Right.
When he actually had a chance to kick it, he made a field goal, which was from a further distance. So nice job by their kicker, not losing confidence, because, again, he didn't miss anything. Some other Chesmont scores. Again, it is Westchester East leading Henderson, Downingtown West leading Oxford, Coatesville over Unionville, and it is Downingtown East running away against Great Valley. We have some great matchups coming up, and among them, actually we'll talk about that in just a moment, as we are underway here in the second half. That ball is going to go out of bounds, so Ruston's going to have great field position to start the half. Pete mentioned the great games we have coming up. Next week, it's Bishop Shanahan against Downingtown West. That game is at West, and coming up on October 4th, we weren't able to bring it to you last year, folks, but it's back. It's the Battle of the Brandywine, Downingtown West versus Downingtown East. We also have Shanahan against Coatesville, and then the final 2 games of the year, it's Coatesville against the Downingtowns. It's Coatesville at Downingtown West, and then Coatesville at Downingtown East. So a bunch of great games coming up, and we have a great game going on right now, as it is a 1-possession ball game. 15-7 is the score, and it is Ruston looking to add to their lead. That's going to be Gallen on the carry, and he's going to pick up a first down. Determined running and run blocking by the Golden Knights.
And Avon Grove isn't going to make any defensive stops if they keep letting each run play average over 6 yards, 10 yards, and then, as we've seen in the first half, breaking out for those long plays that Prasner, Gallen, and of course Madonna have had.
1st and 10, ball on the 46. Yeah, we talked about the Avon Grove line, but the Ruston line, it looks like an Avon Grove player is lined up off sides there. His hand was definitely in the neutral zone. Nothing called, though. That's Madonna on the run.
One thing that Avon Grove is doing well tonight is that when they are tackling in the backfield, or Ruston isn't gaining a lot of yards, they are gang tackling. They like to pursue the ball, whether it's to the right side of the field, to the left side of the field, or to the middle. It's just those, as we keep repeating, those big plays that Ruston is getting off, because they just keep pounding and pounding away.
That was a play that took a long time to only gain 3 yards, but that's Madonna just keeping his legs going. Madonna takes the toss. He's going to be brought down by number 20. We actually have 2 players, number 20 on our roster.
We have Alex Wank or Garrett Keene, so we don't know which number 20 that actually was, but he made a good tackle.
And they're both defensive backs, and there is a 1-inch height difference between the 2 of them.
They just swapped jerseys.
There you go.
Each series.
3rd and 6 would be big for Avon Grove to get a stop. Again, they trail by just 8 points. They don't want to give up any more to Ruston. It's a wide open receiver.
Wow.
That's going to be Drew Gallen. He's going to go for the score. 50-yard touchdown reception. John Crispino to Drew Gallen.
Now, Crispino can make throws like that on a regular. They don't always have to be touchdowns, but the way he dropped back, that 3-step drop, he looked his receiver, threw the ball, just let it go, and it was all she wrote after there.
Will they have an actual extra point be kicked? The extra point is up, and it is good. Ruston now leads 22-7 with 9:50 to go here in the second half. Excuse me, in the third quarter, in the second half. And we'll be right back after this word from Washington Hose Company number 1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
We are back live at Ruston High School as the Golden Knights have just added to their lead. They now lead the Red Devils of Avon by a score of 22-7. Can they get another big return? No, it's great kick coverage by the Golden Knights, and let's see a great pitch and catch by the Golden Knights. Let's take a look at that last touchdown for Ruston.
In the shotgun, steps back, 3-step motion, and it was right on the money. It was a catch and run. He was wide open. He wasn't touched. He wasn't defended. It was like one of those plays that you run in practice, and he was right in for the touchdown. And that's 3 consecutive scores by Ruston now. Let's see if Avon Grove can put some points on the board.
Yeah, Avon Grove is going to need to put together a drive here if they just can get a field goal with their strong kicker. Pickup of just 3. Again, this is an Avon Grove team that averages just 14.5 points a game, and they give up a little over 22, so they're already pretty much at the number of points they give up a game, and there's still plenty of time, not just left in the quarter, but in the game.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time for when Ruston is on offense to see their different running backs that they'll bring into the game, maybe running Prasnamore and Meadows.
Yeah, they can just eat clock up if they need to. Good run there to make it a manageable third down for Avon Grove. That's Sean Glatz on the carry.
And speaking of eating up clock, Coach Mike St. Clair, he prefers a ground-based, control-the-clock game. But in a lot of games that we've seen, they've had big plays with Madonna especially, and it's not really been that much ground control, clock control until the second half when they're running away with the score.
And looks like Avon Grove's got enough for the first down. That's Glatz on the carry again.
And another first down.
Pete, we said it. If they need a yard or two with the line they have, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to pick it up. If they do, just a simple running play. No need for any trick plays. Just get the first down. You want to try and get that big play, do it on first or second, but you don't want to be wasting possessions.
Yeah, not on third down. And as you said, on first down right there, we've had a good run. It looks like he gained up 10 yards to gain another first.
Riddell on the carry. Speaking of trick plays, I don't know if you got the chance to see. Last night saw something I've never seen in a football game in the Houston and Tulane game. Late in the fourth quarter, I believe it was under a minute, to tie game. Tulane's quarterback and the whole team lined up like they were in victory formation. They were just going to take a knee to go to overtime. The quarterback faked the knee, ran for a first down. They ended up winning in regulation. Never seen that before.
Wow.
It's going to be handoff taken to the outside. That's going to be Riddell. But that's a great job by the Ruston defense. They just stuck with him the whole time. They were there if he tried to cut it back. Nowhere to go. That's how you defend a run like that.
Yes, yes. And like we said, led by Matt Montgomery, a 6-foot, 220-pound defensive back or defensive lineman. We see that he is pushing his defense to stop this run game. So Avon Grove kind of has to rely on their pass in the second half, but we really haven't seen them throw any. Well, here goes a pass here.
McDonald rolls out. Pass is complete. It's going to be a first down. That is Rowan Hershey talking at halftime with one of the members of our crew, Austin, talking to him about how, don't be surprised if you see him get the ball in the second half, because if they're going to throw, he's one of their main guys in addition to James Jones. And plays like that gets you a first down, but also just gives you maybe an extra half second of delay for the defense to try and run the ball. And that is Glatz on the carry.
And Avon Grove is putting together a nice drive here. They're past midfield. They're trying to sniff out that end zone. And they've had a well-balanced. They've gained 10 yards and eaten up chunks of yards from their runs and also from their passing.
Yeah. Even though there's still over 6 minutes left in the third quarter, they're far enough down the field that unless it's a 4th and long, don't be surprised if this is 4-down territory.
Yes.
And Glatz has nowhere to run because we said it, Rustin can eat up the clock if they need to. So if it's a 4th and 5 or less, you're too far away for a field goal, too close to punt it. Do they maybe try to get, if they don't get a first down here, just try and get some positive yardage and realize, hey, this is 2-down territory? Or do they go for the big play knowing full well they're going to go for it on 4th down anyway?
Right.
McDonald drops back. He's going to take it himself. He's got enough for the first down. I don't know if that was designed or if that was just McDonald realizing, hey, I got room to run. I might as well take it.
Yeah, that was a great read on that play. He scanned the field. He didn't see any of his open receivers, and he picked up the first down. A lot of times we want to see the quarterbacks protecting themselves and trying to slide, but he seems like a tough young quarterback there, and he picked up a nice first down.
1st and 10, ball on the 29. 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. 22-7, Ruston leads. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com. Handoff goes to Riddell. He's going to take it up to the 25. Pick up of 4. Say it all the time, 4 yards a carry equals first downs.
Yes, averaging 4 yards a carry. That's something that Bill Walsh and the San Francisco 49ers used to live on. You know, they live on 4-yard dunk and pass, 4-yard runs, and that just gets you downfield.
Our listeners hear us say some of the same phrases over and over again, but that's because it's true. Got to be sound in the kicking game. We've had 2 extra point issues. 4 yards is, all you need to get. You're going to get first downs. Then also a win is a win. Neither of these teams care how they get the win. They just care about getting the win.
Yes. And if Avon Grove scores a touchdown on this drive, they're only down 8 points. So it comes back to say that the botched field goals, the missed field goals by Rustin and their extra points, it might come back to bite them.
Pickup of just 1 there. Going to bring up a 3rd down and it's like 4.5 or so. Donald under center. Hands it off. Looked like Glatz ran into his own man. Going to be about a yard short. Now they have a good kicker, but field goal is going to make it a 12-point game. It's still going to be a 2-possession game. Have to think they're going to go for it. The offense is still on the field. You have McDonald over there talking to his coach, getting the play call.
Yeah, with this point in the game, like you said earlier, it's 4-down territory. A field goal will be nice, but that's not doing anything to put a W.
They got to get to the 20. Does he keep it himself? And he does. And Pete, I liked what he did there. It wasn't just the straight up the middle quarterback sneak. He actually took a step over and then went. So if you're the defense thinking, oh, let's just flood right where he's at, good play call.
Yes, very good play call and very good vision by the quarterback. And he didn't fumble the ball there, so they're close. They're actually in the red zone. So like we said, let's see if they can put a touchdown on the board.
Folks, don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at ChesmontFB, like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live, and follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. 1st and 10, ball on the 18. Donald drops back. And he's going to be taken down in the backfield. That is Mike Fannin. There was 2 other Gordon Knights back there, but great job by Fannin.
And that's not something that they wanted to do on first down, to give up a sack. I think sometimes, and we see it a lot in high school, with the quarterbacks rolling out when they're making the pass plays instead of having a 3-step or 2-step drop and finding their receiver with a quick pass or letting it develop upfield. I think that when the quarterback rolls out, it's easier for them to get sacked.
2nd and 12, ball on the 20. Donald drops back again. And they got him in their grasp, and this time he's thrown down at the 31. Pete, nothing he could do that time. That's just a great pass rush.
Yeah, it was a great pass rush, and we didn't even see him roll out to either side to try to make the pass. It was just a collapse by the offensive line. An offensive line that we've praised a lot this game, but they may seem to find fatigue in them and can't hold up the blocks and the rush that the Ruston defense is now charging in with.
And let's take a look at that replay, if we can get this in before that play, or the next play. Actually, we'll take a look after this play, see if that prevents them from, actually, do we have a timeout by Rustin? We do. We're actually going to take a break to hear from ChesmontFootball.com and then look at that replay.
Harry! Harry!
Hey, Dad.
Hurry up, buddy. We're going to be late for the game.
No, Pops. We can watch it on ChesmontFootball.com at any time.
You do say.
Sure thing, Coach. We can stream it live on any smart device.
We are back live at Rustn High School. Let's take a look at what put us in this 3rd and 21. Daniel Wethy on that sack. What a play by him, showing great speed. It's now 3rd and 21 from the 29 for the Avon Grove Red Devils. They trail by 15 with 1:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Donald drops back. Pass is complete, wide open in the middle of the field to James Jones. First time we've said his name tonight for a reception, but we said if they're going to get pass completions, it's going to be to Hershey or Jones.
And that was a beautiful pitch and catch there. He stepped back, he scanned the field, he saw his receiver in the middle, and he let it go. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
And what's interesting is that they have signaled on the marker on the sideline it's a first down, but they've not moved the chains, and they're coming in for a measurement. So a little presumptive by the man with the down stick.
I think it'll be a first down here. I think he got enough to get over the sticks. They were on the
29. Sorry to cut you off. They needed to get to the 8, and it is 4th down. They actually signaled he is short. So he got basically 20.5 yards.
But hey, having a 4th and about inches is better than having a 4th and 21.
Has to be a quarterback sneak. You don't want to do a play. Rustin has shown that on this drive they've been able to get through the offensive line. I think just go for a regular sneak this time, not the step to the side that they did already. Just, you need a minimal distance. Just get it.
And if you haven't been noticing, Rustin has been switching a lot of their defensive line players in and out to keep them fresh, to maybe put a bigger size defensive lineman in to stop the run that's coming up the middle.
Fourth and 1. And he does try to do it himself. I think he got it on the second effort. And the way you can tell that he probably got it is when the official ran out on the field, after he did his first step, he took one step to the right, and that was a big enough step that they had to get that first one, and that's what's been signaled.
And like we mentioned, if they can get the touchdown before the end of this quarter, it's an 8-point game, and we're going to have ourselves for an enjoyable 4th quarter.
Or do they go for the 2 here if they score? But they got to get the touchdown first. 29 seconds to go. Good defense there by the Golden Knights.
And I know that they've had success running the ball in the red zone, but I would actually let JT step back and try to make something work with his arm. On this drive, he's made the big plays with his arm, even though he has been getting sacked a few times here and there. But when they need the big plays, he's making them. And
they're actually not getting another run of play here before the end of the quarter. That's going to do it for the third quarter at Ruston High School. It's the Golden Knights 22, the Red Devils 7. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week on ChesmontFootball.com. SWI, Service Wholesale Incorporated, is your place to go for building materials and products. They supply quality materials for the building, construction, remodeling, and lumber industries. Their motto is service with integrity. Visit them at 4810 Horseshoe Pike in Downingtown or give them a call at 610-518-5187. That's SWI. We want to give a shout out to our friend Evan and the rest of the gang at Pizza Peddler for providing the ChesmontFootball.com crew with a delicious meal tonight. Stop in and see them anytime. They're located at US 202 and PA 926 in the same complex as the Amish Market in Westtown. And folks, they also deliver. Give them a call at 610-399-3300.
And I will agree, Mikey, they really had some good pizza from their sauces, pepperoni, and cheese. I give them a A+.
And also, speaking of good food, also want to give thanks to our friends at Wegmans. That's right, Wegmans, a proud supporter of Chesmont football and ChesmontFootball.com. That's right, Wegmans Food Markets. Guess what? They're hiring. You can apply online at Wegmans.com/careers.
It's the fourth quarter. It hasn't been a close game, but it's been an exciting game. A lot of big plays, and we'll see if Avon Grove can get it into the end zone here.
Low snap. Handoff goes. It's taken to the outside. That's Fidel. Looks like he's going to be dived down to the 1 yard line.
Literally inches away.
I've liked what I've seen from these backs. They might not have some huge runs, but they had some tough runs, and it's what's keeping these Red Devils in the game.
Yes.
Now, do they just have McDonald try and take this himself, or do they give it to the back? Right now, they have Wyatt Kirby and Glatz in the backfield.
I think you give the ball, yeah.
It's given to Glatz, and he's in for the score. 1 yard touchdown run, Sean Glatz. And we are an extra point away from this being a one-possession ball game.
No, Mikey, it looks like they're sending their field goal team in. But on this touchdown, would you go for 2, or would you just kick the field goal in hopes that they get the extra point?
Extra point is up, and it is good. And, man, we were talking about their kicker, Bobby Smith, and, man, what a leg he just showed there on that extra point.
And if you were the coach on that play there, would you go for 2, or would you have kicked the field goal? What would your decision be?
I think going for 1 there just to ensure that it's a a one-possession game, knowing that you have time that if you can get a stop, and you get another score quickly enough, it might be a field goal or it might be a touchdown, and you might not even have to go for 2.
Right. That's what great coaches do. They think ahead to the future.
And let's take a look at the Sean Glatz touchdown run. Nice hold there, and just solid run by Glatz.
And that was a good block by the fullback, Wyatt Kirby, for Glatz to just follow him in and get that touchdown. That's a fumble.
Madonna was able to get it back up to the 20, but that could have been a game-changing turnover there, but he was able to compose himself and get the ball.
Even though he hasn't turned it over to Avon Grove tonight, we've seen Madonna fumble twice. Once on the kickoff and another on a direct snap in the backfield. I'm sure this week in practice they'll go over ball security a lot with their running backs and other ball carriers.
Update you on some other games. It's Downtown West over Oxford 42-20.
Another fumble.
Rustin is really lucking out that the ball keeps bouncing back in their hands, and they end up getting a good run on the play. As that's Drew Gallen. Pete, they've had 2 issues on snaps and holds on extra points. They've had probably 4 or 5 fumbles, but the fumbles have gone their way. The extra points, they were lucky to get the ball back and not have those get returned. I mean, they're really on thin ice right now.
Yeah, if Avon Grove was just a bit faster to the ball, they could have about 2 turnovers possibly, and especially being in their red zone.
2nd and 1. And that's going to be Anthony Meadows with the first down run. I don't believe we've said Alex Praster's name actually getting a carry tonight. We kept saying we might see him, but I don't know if he has an injury or if they're just liking Gallen and Meadows a lot.
Well, Prasner had his maybe 1 or 2 in the first half, but like you say, the coach might feel more comfortable with his other backs. And Meadows, he seems to be the bruiser in the 4th quarter when you let Madonna run all over your defense and then you put Meadows in to do the bruising. That's just a great 1-2 combination.
And we said they had a game where they had 5 rushers get a touchdown. So they have a lot of guys they trust with the ball. And there's Gallen. Gallen, of course, had that big run earlier in the game where he scored for the Golden Knights. But there, the Red Devil defense able to make him lose some yardage. We always talk about wanting just some positive yards. Even if it's a yard or 2, you don't want to get those 0 or negative yardage plays.
Right. The key is to never go backwards.
2nd 11 ball on the 36. Toss play to Madonna. And he's got a ton of room to run, and he's inside of Avon Grove territory. He's going to be taken down inside the 40. Knocked down at the 38-yard line.
And Mikey, this is the time of the game where Rustin likes to put it away with their runs. They'll feed it to Meadows, get him bruising, then they'll put Madonna in, give him something, a jet sweep or a pitch to the outside, and next thing you know, it's a 20-yard gain.
And you can see that play developing as he was going to the outside, his offensive line was executing their blocks, and he just had a massive hole, and then Madonna showing great speed. And now the Golden Knights are back in business in Red Devil territory. So it's Gallen taking it down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8.
And that was a good pickup of 8, but sometimes running backs at a new age, they don't just run through their would-be tackler or run through to get extra yardage. They start maybe tippy-toeing to the side, and that may slow them down and slow their momentum. I like to see runners when they just run through their tackler. He may have picked up 10 yards instead of 8 on that play.
And this is an Avon Grove defense that is looking a little tired right now, Pete.
Yes, fatigue has come into play.
Handoff goes to Meadows. He's got a first down. He actually fell forward for an extra couple of yards. It looked like he was going to be tackled at about the 28. He then ends up falling forward. He takes it down to the 24.
And Rustin's backfield is doing a terrific job of staying in bounds and making that clock not stop. They want to get out of here with a win. And even if they only score a field goal or not score at all, they're taking so much time off of the clock for Avon Grove's offense to come back onto the field.
Yeah, there's not a visible play clock at this stadium, but just the internal clock, you can tell they're bringing this play clock down really low, eating as much time up as they can. Madonna with the carry. He cuts it back. Pete, they're getting 7, 8 yards a run now on first down.
Yes. And like we said, we see fatigue in the Avon Grove's defense, and not only fatigue, but a lack of confidence that may be coming over them now. They see that time is winding down, and they're already back into the red zone, and Rustin may score again.
But they're one big play away. Can they force a fumble? Can they just come up with that big tackle that goes for a loss? But you can't keep giving up 7, 8 yards at a clip. Madonna following his blockers to get another Golden Knight first down. I mean, this is a textbook drive if you want to know what Rustin likes to do.
Yes, yes. And they haven't passed it not once on this play. And that's what we've seen from them majority of their season, where they'll come in. If they have, say, 30 plays per game, 25 of them are going to be rushing attempts. And that's just the style of play that their coach is loving to play this year. Tradition.
First and 10, ball on the 12. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 22-14 is your score. But Rustin is driving. Gallen gets it.
That was a good tackle.
Yeah, he is met after a gain of 3.
Drew Gallen with the carry. Gain of 3 on the play.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 7. Folks, you too can advertise on 3ctvlive.com or chesmontfootball.com events by calling 610-269-5000 for sponsorship opportunities. That's right, give us a call at 610-269-5000 if you want to sponsor the Chesmont Game of the Week or other 3CTV Live or Chesmont football events. 5:15 to go. Madonna with the carry. And he cuts it back, and he's going to go in for the score. 9-yard touchdown run, Nick Madonna.
And that was perfect vision. I thought that he was going to keep the ball and try to force his way to the outside, but he made that cut in between a tackle, saw an opening where the whoopee linebackers were, cut across field, and it's another 6 points on the board for Rustin, making the score 28-14. Wow. Wow. I don't know what happened there. It seemed like the quarterback, caught the snap, and the kicker didn't even try to kick the ball. The receiver had just gotten tackled on that play, but the score is still up double digits, 28-14. Rustin leading Avon Grove.
And we're going to take a look at the score that made it a 2-possession game for the Rustin Golden Knights.
See, he just...
And Rustin a little slow getting back on the field there. There was just the kicker. Now the rest of the team joining him. There's still 5:09 left. Avon Grove down 2 scores, but they have 3 timeouts. But on that drive, they just couldn't show that they could stop the Golden Knight offense.
Yeah, like we mentioned, fatigue had came in and maybe a lack of confidence, knowing that time is running down and their defense just can't stop the Rustin running game.
Tublat on the return. That's the best job by the kick coverage all night, as he doesn't even get to the 20. Avon Grove will try to make it a 1-possession game again after this word from Chester County Transmissions.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
We are back live at Rustn High School as the Avon Grove Red Devils now trail by 2 possessions with 5 minutes to go in the game. That pass is complete up to the 23-yard line. That is James Jones on the reception. Now, Pete, this is a team that likes to run the ball if they can, and if you have a Ruston defense that's always very strong, knowing what you're looking to do because you're needing to score quick, wouldn't be surprised if we saw our second interception of the game.
Yeah, our second interception, or maybe a turnover, like a sack and a fumble occurring.
Yeah, they showed some great speed on the last Avid Grove possession, getting some sacks. McDonald pump fakes, running out of time. He's got an open man in the middle of the field. Instead, he throws to the sideline. Pass is incomplete. Pass was intended for Brandon Borkey, but Pete, he had James Jones in the middle of the field, but he was just running so hard to get away from those defenders. It's also tough to throw it kind of across your body on the run, but
yeah,
you have to be looking out for anyone, the best possible option. It's now a 3rd and 6, 4:20 to go. There is, and Avid Grove actually called for a hold, so it's going to be even tougher for them to get a first down.
And we see that Ruston has a great running attack. They've only had one returning senior this year, being Jason Thornton. 4 new starters, and they're running great. A great attack that Madonna Meadows and other running backs can get behind.
Pass is complete.
It's a great catch.
It's not going to be enough for a first down, but it's going to be a very manageable 3rd down.
Now you wonder what would the game look like if Jones was incorporated and more in the first half. He seems like he's catching everything that's thrown to him. He's getting a good release from the line of scrimmage, and he's getting himself open. We've already talked about JT McDonald being a good quarterback, being 4th in career stats in the Chesmont division. I just don't know why they didn't pass more this game.
Pass is complete. It's going to be a first down. That's to Hershey.
Yeah, I just don't think that their talent was fully used.
Flag on the play, and we also have an injured player, it looks like. As the refs are discussing what the flag is. Personal foul, and that's going to be on Rustin. So it was already a first down. Give him another 15 yards. We're actually going to go to a commercial break here from our friends at Miller's as the Avid Grove training staff tends to their injured player.
Chester County's most trusted insurance agency. Whether it's for your automobile or your home, a life insurance policy, or coverage for your business. Since 1975, Miller's Insurance Agency has been protecting homes, property, people, and businesses throughout Chester County. Miller's guides you every step of the way, providing the best options, getting you the right policy that works best for you. Contact us today for a no-cost consultation. Miller's Insurance Agency. We're here today for your tomorrows. Visit online at miainc.com.
And we are back at Rustn High School. It's the 1st and 10 at the Avid Grove 48. And I do have to comment that Avid Grove, their fight song is identical to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish fight song. So it's always nice to hear. I believe my mom said that was her alma mater's song in high school as well. Pass is complete.
That's a good hit.
To Hess. It's going to be another first down for the Red Devils.
And I may be beating a dead horse with this statement, but what would this game look like if Avid Grove had incorporated a lot of these passes that they're making in the 4th quarter and the first half?
Yeah, because Ruston knows that they're trying to score quickly. They're expecting the pass. Trouble on the snap. Flag on the play. And McDonald is going to be taken down by Montgomery. Got to see who the flag is on. So trouble on the snap. And if it's a penalty on Avid Grove and they were sacked short, that would have been a triple whammy.
The only thing I can think of is a hold or
it's a legal
motion.
shift.
Yes.
Penalty is declined because they were stopped for a loss of 1 on the play. So might as well just lose 1, or make them only lose 1 and the down. It's going to be a timeout for Avon. We're going to take this timeout to thank all our sponsors tonight. Washington Hose Company number 1, SWI, or Service Wholesale Incorporated, Chester County Transmissions, Wegmans, Miller's Insurance, and again, I want to give another shout out to our friend Evan and all the crew at Pizza Peddler for giving us the crew at ChesmontFootball.com a delicious meal tonight. Again, located at US 202 and PA 926 in the same complex as the Amish Market in Westtown. Give them a call, 610-399-3300. And just another reminder, you too can advertise on the Chesmont Game of the Week by giving us a call at 610-269-5000. Next week we have Bishop Shanahan at Downingtown West, and the following week it's Downingtown West and Downingtown East, the Battle of the Brandywine. McDonald drops back. Pass is complete. It's going to be another Red Devil first down. Borky with the catch.
So you have Borky, Hershey, and Jones. They can look at this tape of what their passing game has done in the second half and go into next week and use these plays, use these receivers into open field and try to get them in the first half worked in.
Now they got to score quick because they did call a timeout on this drive. We're under 3 minutes to go. McDonald passes intercepted. That was, looks like Kevin Freeze.
And that might put a stamp on the game right there, Mikey.
What a job by Fresh, because that ball was deflected, and sometimes if you don't know where the ball is going, it's hard to just make a simple catch. It goes right into his hands, and I do believe that is going to do it, because now you're down by 2 scores, have 2 timeouts, and you have to get the ball back.
Right. But like I was mentioning before that interception, you know, Avon Grove, their coaching staff, their players, especially on the offensive side, they can go in, look at film, and try to run more passing plays going into next week because it seems to work going down the stretch of the game.
Rustin actually calls a timeout. I guess they want to make sure they have all the right personnel on the field. They don't want to have any mistakes. Now let's take a look at the replay of this interception. It was a pass that had no chance of being completed. As it was thrown behind the intended man. It was trying to get it to Borky, but it was thrown behind him. It kind of just hit off his the backside of his stomach.
And it's hard to make a precise pass when you have the defenders breathing down your neck as soon as you drop back to try to throw the ball.
Well, for a while we weren't sure who the victorious team was going to be, but it's looking very strongly as though we're going to have a post-game interview with the victorious coach, and that coach is going to be Mike Sinclair, barring a miracle finish for Avon Grove. Carl Rudman is going to be having that interview for. That's a big run for Ruston. Can they get Madonna one man to try and beat? They pull him down inside the 15. He's going to finally be pulled down at the... They're still discussing the spot. They mark him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. What a run by Madonna. The number of 25-plus yard runs this man has this year is outstanding, but then you also look at another Westchester school, Kyle Sikanowski. He also has several big runs this year, so what a year for running backs in the Westchester School District.
Yes. Coach St. Clair, he's come in, and the definite talent at the running back position is helping his team, and he said that he wants to win Westchester, win the Chesmont division.
And that's going to be a run taken down inside the 5-yard line. That's Prasner with the carry.
Well, Coach St. Clair, he's come in with depth at the running back position, and he said that he wants to not only win Westchester, he wants to win the position in the Chesmont and also get into the playoffs. And with the system that he's running, this year in this 2019 fall season, I think that he's on to something.
As I think they might just let the clock run down as much as they can and then call a timeout before running their next play. As you have Crispino on the sideline just talking to his coach. They have one timeout left. And that is what they do. Final timeout of the game for Ruston as they lead 28-14. Avon Grove was really in this game, but it was that Ruston running game wearing down the defense of Avon Grove that really decided this one.
Yeah, Ruston took over momentum-wise in the second quarter, where they got majority of their scores back-to-back. And even though Avon Grove did have one touchdown in the second quarter, Ruston pretty much ran away with the game. In the first quarter, we saw a tight-knit game, and we thought that, okay, this may be a defensive battle. But Ruston's offense came out in their running attack, and they turned it around. And now we see them leading 28-14 in the red zone. And if they punch it in again with a bigger score going into the next week with a bunch of momentum, and this is how Ruston loves to play.
To let you know about the other Westchester game going on, Westchester East leads Henderson 35-7. Flag on the play. Looks like the early signal is offsides against Avon Grove. Bishop Shanahan currently trailing 17-14. We're going to see these Shanahan Eagles next week against still undefeated Downingtown West. Now their game is not final, but they do lead Oxford. Victory formation for Ruston as they take the knee. Now Avon Grove can call a timeout.
Now I think this shows good sportsmanship by Ruston's offense. No need to punch it in for a touchdown. They take victory formation, bar no injuries, and go into next week with a W.
Well, yeah, and that offsides actually led to a first down, so that's what made it so they can just take a knee. And you can actually see the players on the Avon Grove sideline already lining up for the post-game handshake. They know that they are just another knee or two away from this ball game being over, so it's going to be Ruston going to 4-1, Avon Grove falling to 1-4.
And I know no team thinks that they'll be sitting at 1-4 during their two-a-days throughout the hot summer. Every team wants to come in and try to be 5-0 or undefeated in their respected division, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like this. The only thing that you can do is come back during the week, regroup, and try to come out next Friday and try to get that W.
Yeah, this was an Avon Grove team that fell just short of the playoffs last year. They were coming in with some high hopes as they had a returning quarterback, a very strong offensive line. And as you said, they just got to try and win the games they have left on their schedule. For Ruston, they did what they needed to do as they take a knee. It's going to be the final play. We just got to watch the final 20 seconds tick off the clock. Again, stay tuned post-game as Carl Rumman's going to have an interview with Coach Sinclair. And folks, just a reminder, these games are archived. You can go to ChesmontFootball.com anytime to watch this game or any of our games, and ChesmontFootball.com.
And that's great because as the fall season gets deeper and deeper and the weather begins to change and it becomes colder and we have more rainy games, there'll be times where maybe somebody's grandparents or maybe somebody out of state who wants to watch a family member can do from at home in the comfortability of their house.
You're at a game and it just gets way too cold or even starts raining. You can always just watch. Or maybe you didn't see a play, or you had to step into the room for a minute, or even if you're at the game, your kid wanted something from the snack bar, boom, you missed a big touchdown run. You can watch the games anytime, ChesmontFootball.com. And we're going to take a look at Rustin's touchdowns from the evening as we wait for Carl to get that interview with Coach Sinclair. You have Madonna taking that one in where he goes to the corner, dives into the end zone.
Got him open in open field, that jet sweep.
Then you had Gallen taking the 50-yard toss. Or taking the toss 50 yards for the touchdown, showing great speed there. And I always love when the running back lowers their head like they're running a race.
Right.
Trying to cross the finish line. And then Gallen with another big touchdown. Actually, I believe it was a 45-yard touchdown run, a 50-yard touchdown reception for Gallen.
And both of his touchdowns, he was untouched.
And then it was Madonna running to the right, cutting it back to the left. We saw that a couple of times where he was going one way and cut it back. One of the times we thought he was going to have a score, but there was a great tackle by the Avon Grove defense. If you're a Red Devil fan, you're disappointed that you lost by 2 scores, but there is definitely some positives in this game. You had some effective passing plays late in the fourth quarter. Your defense got some stops, and a couple bounces go your way on some of those Rustin fumbles. You're in business.
Yes. It's just that it just didn't go their way tonight. But as any great coach does, he makes his players hold their head high, points out what they did great, try to build their momentum up on what they didn't do so great, and pick his team together. Yes, they may be 1-4, but there's a lot of season left. You never know what you have going down the road.
Yeah.
That's what a great coach does.
Yeah.
It makes his team look forward down the road, but each week is just 1 week at a time.
And again, just a reminder, we got a lot of season left. Tune in next week as it is Bishop Shanahan traveling to Downingtown West to take on the Whippets. And the following week, it's the Battle of the Brandywine. It's Downingtown West and Downingtown East. The following week, it's the Eagles again from Bishop Shanahan going up against Coatesville. And then it's Coatesville at Downingtown West, Coatesville at Downingtown East. So a lot of great games left on ChesmontFootball.com. As we have Carl Rudman with Coach Mike Sinclair. Take it away, Carl.
Hey, Coach Sinclair, congratulations on a hard-fought victory. Obviously, Nick Madonna had another great game, but let's talk about Drew Brown a little bit. Came up big for you tonight.
Yeah, Drew came up really big for us. We got a 4x100 team in the backfield. They might be the fastest kids around, and when they get the ball, if you don't get a hand on them, they're going to go the distance. And we're just really lucky to have all those running backs on our team.
What I saw tonight is your offensive line gave your backs some time to look for holes. Did you see that? I saw that. Picking their way.
My offensive line coach John Timko does a great job with those guys all week. He's on them on technique, on attitude, and without those linemen, you guys know backs can't run without a line.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your defense a little bit. They did a solid job tonight. What do you think about your defense?
The defense did a great job tonight. When you play a team like Avon Grove that's going to come right at you and smash you in the mouth every play, it takes a lot of guts to step up and take on those blocks. We preached all week to those kids, and I got a bunch of juniors out there, a couple seniors. I preached them all week. You're just going to have to man up. You're going to have to get punched in the mouth, but you're just going to have to get up there and get in there for the next play.
Absolutely, because Avon Grove came to play tonight, didn't they?
Avon Grove came to play tonight. This is one of our best victories. I got about nothing personal, but I've got 6 seniors who I lost for the year, and those kids mean a lot to this team, and to win this game tonight without those kids on the field is a great accomplishment by our whole squad.
Great luck going forward, Coach. Looking forward to seeing you later in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
You got it.
This is Carl Rudman for 3CTVLive.com, ChesmontFootball.com.
And again,
let's bring it back to Mikey Dunn in the booth.
It's the Golden Knights 28, the Red Devils 14. For Pete Foster and the entire ChesmontFootball.com crew, I am Mikey Dunn saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.